Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a few months and a few days from post operation. We did not have any vlogs after those days. We were so busy with back to school activities and things like that. And so yeah, today we're talking about how much did it cost to get a rhinoplasty. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and let's go. So again, last June 1, that's the first consultation that we had with Nadela. So June 1, we had an online consultation. It cost us 1,000 pesos. And after that consultation, we already booked um, the day when we are going to have the surgery, and it was agreed that it would take place on July 18, 2003. So by then, after a few days of really analyzing and trying to finalize things if we're really going with the procedure, we paid a down payment of 15,000 pesos. That's for to make your schedule booked. That would be 10,000 for the Gore-Tex rhinoplasty, and the other 5,000 would be for the sedation. So after the confirmed booking with Wanadela for the surgery, we then booked and searched for cheaper flights and hotel accommodations because if you booked ahead, you will never know when are you going to be scheduled for a surgery. So suggestion, if you are going to do a procedure, medical procedure, you need to book your um, schedule with the clinic first. Then you get your cheap flights and your hotel accommodation. So in that case, on June 12, Independence Day, Cebu Pacific had their seat sale. So we had booked two flights to and from Camiguin to Cebu. So we had booked Cebu Camiguin to Cebu flight. That's 1,203 pesos only. No check-in luggages. And from Cebu to Camiguin, we booked a 1,483 ticket. So that's the first date for the return was actually on July 28th. Yeah, July 28th. But we rebooked it um to July 31 to make sure, because July 28th is the 10th day of the surgery, and when Adela said that it would be much better to stay in Cebu for at least 10 days. 7th day would be the day where they will remove the stitches. But I really have, like, like, what if something goes wrong and I need to go back to the clinic? So that's why I extended my stay for 3 days. So that's why I rebooked the flight to the 31st. So that's additional 2,004 pesos for the rebooking fee and the change of flight. Um, and then we also paid additional for the Airbnb accommodation. So since we have already our tickets from Camiguin to Cebu, Cebu to Camiguin, so I now search for a good accommodation. And you've seen in the previous vlogs that the accommodation that we chose was the accommodation walking distance from the clinic, which is Grand Residences Cebu. So I'll put the link below on the accommodation that we had, because I really had a great stay. And don't forget to watch the Airbnb accommodation video also, so you can get tips on how to book Airbnbs and how to check your Airbnb accommodations for any security reasons. So we checked online and we had this Airbnb at Grand Residences Cebu, which is again 5 minutes walk to the clinic. So the Airbnb cost 1,950 per night. So that would be multiplied to how many days you're staying. But in my case, I was so lucky that it was less of a 5,000 pesos. The first booking that we had is only for 10 days. Again, because that was the first plan, only 10 days in Cebu. So we paid 16,700 pesos for the Airbnb accommodation alone. So since I changed my mind and rebooked the flight, added 3 days on my stay in Cebu. So we extended also our stay and we had additional 4,620 pesos additional for the Airbnb accommodation. Then we also added additional baggage from Cebu to Camiguin because I really like feared of over what do you call this, overweight baggages because we're in Cebu now, so probably we are going to be buying things and we are going to be buying pasalubong. So I thought it may be best if I would add um additional luggage. So the additional luggage is 32 kilos. So that's 1,506 pesos for the additional baggage. And those are the expenses we had incurred before we had our flight to Cebu. So that's the grand total. But during when we are already in Cebu, we need to had groceries. We are staying there for 2 weeks, and it is much advisable to had your meals cooked on the accommodation rather than going outside and exposing your wound to unclean air, and also for potential surgical infections. So we did our groceries, and first week we had our 7,600 worth of grocery. 7,600 plus groceries. That's good for 1 week. And we had additional 5,000 for the second week of groceries. So those are just our groceries budget for 2 weeks in Cebu. That included the laag, we eat outside, we eat in malls, we buy food, we purchase online with Grab Food, Food Panda. So those are excluded on the budget. Prior also to the surgery, we had talked with Dr. Saberon. We had a conversation to make a clearance out of my medical results. I thought everything was fine once I already submitted the results, but Juan Adela said that I need to have clearance. So that's Dr. Saberon's role. So Dr. Saberon had me scheduled for an online consultation with the results, and it cost 3,000 pesos. I had also additional maintenance medicine prior to the surgery for me to pass the medical clearance test. So the maintenance medicines cost me 7,875 pesos. That's good for a month. Now let's talk about the biggest I had a lot of questions about syempre because if you're going to have a surgery, obviously people would ask like how much did you spend for the rhinoplasty? How much did it cost for all of these, things? So I would just like to educate you that surgical rhinoplasty has three major operations, namely um, the bridge, or we call it the rhinoplasty. That's the rhinoplasty. If you are going to just have your bridge done for your nose, that's rhinoplasty. Then we also have the alarplasty on the sides of the nose. That's your you know the big things. For me, in my case, on the side of your nose, that's the ala. So it is called the alarplasty. So if you want that trimmed out, which happened to my case, as suggested with the online consultation. So we had also the alarplasty. And the last surgery for the nose is the tipplasty. If you don't have or you lack tip projection, which again in my case, so that's unfortunate. We had those three. Okay, we had those three surgeries. I don't have the individual prices for those surgeries. So in my case, I had been opted to choose either a regular silicone for the implant of the bridge. The regular silicone cost you about 30 plus to 40,000, and the other one was the Gore-Tex silicone. The Gore-Tex and the regular silicone is very different, as explained to me by Dr. Kong of Nadela, and also with my research online. So the difference between a regular silicone is that it's not porous, or it doesn't have holes or pores in it. Unlike with the Gore-Tex, again, Gore-Tex is another brand of a silicone for rhinoplasty. The Gore-Tex is the porous one. It's the newest one. It's the safer one, and it's also good when it comes to skin absorption because of the holes in the silicone itself. Your skin collagen and your skin parts will integrate on the silicone, so it makes it more sturdier. Diba? It doesn't move. So I chose the Gore-Tex silicone. The Gore-Tex cost 95,000 pesos. It includes the Gore-Tex implant, the dorsal augmentation, the tip plasty, alar plasty, and materials for surgery, and including OR fees, and also the swab test. Kasi nag-swab test pa rin before the surgery. So the package for the Gore-Tex is 95,000. And there are optional costs. Um Optional cost number one is the osteotomy. The osteotomy is removing a little bit of the bone here on this part of your nose here, because some people have protrusion with that bone on the nose here, both sides. So if the doctor opens the nose and sees that you need the osteotomy for the bridge to just a beautiful result, they would decide for you, and you will not decide for yourself. It would be solely based on what they see during the operation. In my case, I did not had the osteotomy. The second additional operational cost is the full sedation. Cost 25,000. I really appreciate that One Adela is offering sedation compared to general anesthesia. I have watched videos of how unsafe general anesthesia is during procedure. You will be briefed before the operation. She asked if I'm a deep sleeper, do I snore, because those things matter. If you are going to be on deep sleep, it's hard for you to um normally breathe, like the normal breathing, the voluntary breathing. So that's why they will introduce hoses of oxygen to your mouth. So that's intubation, and really unsafe. With sedation, they control the amount of sedative that will be given and introduced to your system. So that's why as I told you on my previous vlog, the surgery vlog, I already told you that 30 minutes prior to the end of the procedure, I was already awake because they did not had that full sedation. Again, mainly because I snore and maybe I'll fall on deep sleep. So I was awake and I was hearing everyone, like the doctor, the surgeon, and the nurses, because there are four people in the clinic doing the procedure. So I'm hearing them. I moved my hands and my feet so that they would know that I'm already awake. You can see because it's covered, and the doctor just, said to me that it's okay. We did not have the full sedation, because this and that. So she explained it well, naman. So I did not panic, but it's still very alarming because you could feel the scissors, the cuts, and also the stitches done, especially the part of the ears, the cartilage being removed. I felt that it's not painful, but you would feel it. It's not painful again because you are under sedation. And additional optional procedure cost is the surgery kit. The surgery kit includes a week of medication and scar creams for the full recovery of the surgery. So it cost you 6,500 pesos. I opted to get the surgery kit because I compared it to the prices outside with a pharmacy. It's just 500 pesos less. So here's a video of us going to the clinic. It's July 25, 2023, and it's the day of our stitch removal. Total cost of our Gore-Tex package is at 121,500 pesos, including a full week medication and other OR fees. Again, I would like to say thank you for everyone who supported me throughout this whole journey. It has been a pleasure sharing to you my greatest experience in my transformation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!